Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome everyone to our town hall that we're holding. We're delighted that everyone has been able to join us to share in some updates from us, GoodMaps, to you, our valued partners, our customers, our investors, and indeed our end users. We've been on an amazing journey over the last 5 years, and we couldn't have done any of it without all of you. And this town hall is all about sharing with you not only a little bit about where we've come from, but also our exciting, very engaging future that we're super excited about. And we're looking forward to talking to you about that. So I just wanted to very quickly give a brief overview of that, and I'll begin with an introduction to myself. So my name's Neil Barnfather. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer at GoodMaps. I'm responsible for everything that is front of house and facing you, our partners and our customers. This journey began with something incredibly personal to me. As a blind person, I understand our founding mission, which is to help people navigate indoor spaces and the challenges that are dealt with it. Since then, though, we've evolved to really embrace universal access and everything that goes with being an organization that supports access for all when it comes to our environments. And in the past few months, we've had a transition over CEO roles. And to talk more about where this exciting journey is now going to take us, I'd like to introduce our CEO, Teresa Rita Weber.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Neil. And as Neil said, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. I was recruited by the board and previous CEO in 2022 to join GoodMaps as the president and chief operations officer at an inflection point for our young startup. As our board chair told me at the time, GoodMaps is on the verge of catastrophic success. We knew we had something people needed, but we weren't set up to scale and needed to strengthen our foundation and processes to reach our potential. For those less familiar with our origin story, GoodMaps was launched out of the American Printing House for the Blind in 2019, with a mission, as Neil said, to make the world's indoor spaces more inclusive, interactive, and safer for everyone. Today, we provide digital mapping and AI-driven infrastructure-free indoor positioning and inclusive navigation that guides individuals, whether blind or low vision, deaf, limited mobility, neurodiverse, or, like all of us, directionally challenged, step by step from the front door to the indoor destination of their choice. From rail stations to airports, museums to sports complexes, university campuses to shopping centers, GoodMaps is helping more people find their way with ease and independence. For me, as a veteran, business executive, and former government official, I have spent my career at the intersection of service and social good, solving complex problems across sectors. With a master's from Harvard's Kennedy School of Government, 4 years of global consulting at McKinsey & Company, and 5 years as a deputy mayor in Louisville Metro government for IT, HR, and strategy, I have experienced building relationships and partnerships that yield step changes in performance for the organizations and people I've had the pleasure to serve. Before joining GoodMaps, I was president and CEO of the multi-state Metro United Way, a social services nonprofit headquartered here in Louisville, Kentucky, where I raised more than $140 million by inspiring others with my vision to use data and technology to reform our work and improve the lives of individuals and families across the region. As CEO of GoodMaps, I am able to maximize the combination of my passion for social good with my strategic and operational expertise and deep connections across key customer segments. I know GoodMaps has the power to transform lives and can provide confidence and independence to anyone, but especially the more than 2 billion people around the world living with some form of impairment. Just as the advent of outdoor navigation apps like Google Maps and Waze have transformed the way people travel, I foresee inclusive indoor navigation charting a similar course into everyday use, and am driven alongside our incredibly talented team to keep GoodMaps at the forefront of this exciting frontier. This morning, we are going to discuss some of our latest advances and give you a preview of what's on the horizon. So let's dive right in. Next slide. So GoodMaps is getting even better, and we just last month released our 1.4 version of the app. It is available for free to download on the Android or iOS app stores. And it has a lot of new features and functionality that if you'd been using our previous version of the app, GoodMaps Explorer, which is no longer on the App Store and will be phasing out in the coming months altogether, you're going to notice a lot of, again, new functionality and features, from an improved navigation experience that has a nicer to the ears voice. So it's not that computer analog version that we might have had previously. We've enhanced the haptic feedback. So we've always had haptic elements within our app, but now as you're navigating along a path within a space, especially for arcane users, if you are veering off course, the haptics, if enabled, will give you a beep and a haptic vibration to let you know, kind of like rumble strips on a roadway, that you are off course, and will correct you back onto the route, which makes navigating even easier than ever before. Our accuracy and the speed at which we localize and find you within a venue is incredibly fast. We've seen huge improvements. Most of the time, we're localizing folks within a second or two from when they hold their phone up and start to pan around within a space. And we've also improved the interactive tutorials. So we know that it's not intuitive. Folks haven't used an app like this before, where their computer vision is what is identifying where you are within an environment. And so we've improved the way that we first let someone know what they need to do to find their position, how they hold their phone, how they pan it from left to right, and then give them a very clear, again, haptic feedback and tonal feedback to let them know that they found their position and that they can start their route. Next slide. But that's not it. We're just getting started. We are in constant communication with our customers and with user groups for the different needs that we are trying to address. And we have a lot of things in store that we're really excited about. First, an increased language support. We've added Spanish and French Canadian to the app, but there is no limit to the languages that we're able to add to the app. And we know that lots of our customers are having folks from multiple countries come into their spaces, and they want to be able to give them that tailored experience, so that if they don't know the language that is predominant within the space, they can still use this app with ease and confidence and not have to find somebody to help direct them or answer their questions about where they're going. Connected maps. We know that whether you're a large university campus or maybe an airport with different terminals, you often want to navigate from one location to another, another interior space. With our connected maps, that'll be easier than ever before to do that in more seamless ways along your journey. And then there's a lot of great app customization that was built into this 1.4.0 version. So whether you like the dark mode, like my friend Charlie, who always keeps things dark and I keep them light, or if you want to turn off those haptics, we know for some that's kind of a overwhelming set of features, whether it's the haptics and the tones, you can turn those off with a slight toggle within the settings feature of the app, and make sure that it's really tailored for you. So anybody can customize the app and use it in the way that they most want to. So those are just some of the great things that we have in store and coming forward this calendar year. And there's some other really big technology advances beyond our app that I'm really excited to have our Chief Technology Officer, Charlie Meredith, walk through with you all. Just a note on Charlie, he not only leads our engineering team, but also our product team and our innovation space. He's been with the company since the very beginning, and there was no one better than Charlie to lead us into the future. So Charlie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Thank you for that introduction. So yeah, as Teresa said, I'm Chief Technology Officer at GoodMaps. My name is Charlie Meredith. So if I haven't met you, I hope that I get to meet you all soon. Had a great time over the last several months, but really the last few years meeting our customers and kind of figuring out what we need to build to make your lives better. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about is GoodMaps Studio. So GoodMaps Studio is our tool that we are giving our building owners to be able to manage their buildings, rename destinations, add custom destinations. Several of our customers may have had access to the previous version of Studio. So if you had access to GoodMaps Explore, you may have had access to the previous version of GoodMaps Studio. We've actually completely rebuilt it from the ground up. So all of the underlying technology is different. The look and feel is different, and it's really a much more pleasant experience. It's a lot smoother. It looks a lot nicer. So I'm really excited to get that into your hands. As we all know, indoor environments change all the time. So this is going to really let building owners keep up with those changes and make sure that end users who are visiting are able to see all of that. Right now, Studio is in early access, so we've given some of our customers access, but we're really going to be rolling it out to everyone in September. So if you don't have access yet, you'll be getting it soon and you'll be able to play around. So some of the exciting things that are going to be coming to Studio. So one of the things that we've just built that I'm really excited about is Teresa mentioned that our app supports multiple languages and we'll be adding more languages in the future. So we've built tools into Studio to make that really, really easy to manage. Some of them actually leverage AI. So you can go into Studio and you can use AI to pretty much instantaneously translate your entire map. Obviously, you'll want to double check that because AI isn't always 100% accurate, but it's a really good starting point. It lets people get some of the low-hanging fruit like bathrooms, things like that, automatically translated. And we found that it works really well and is really, really efficient. We're also going to be adding both to Studio and to the app the ability to add destination descriptions. So both for blind people or sighted people, you'll be able to add additional information to destinations. In the future, we'll actually be adding the ability to add hours of operation, potentially images, links to menus for restaurants. So all of that is going to go to really enrich the user experience and make sure that they've got all of the information that they need to experience the space. Last thing, we're going to be working on a new map labeling system. So a lot of the feedback that we've gotten in the app is around kind of the look and feel of the labels, but also wanting to customize those. So we're going to be adding ways to actually prioritize destinations, feature destinations, so that way things that are kind of like top of mind for the space, you can have front and center for people who are visiting. So that's GoodMaps Studio, but we're also excited to announce that we're going to be rolling out a new product called GoodMaps Web. So some of the feedback that we've gotten from customers as well is that users don't always want to download an app, right? Like I don't always want to download a new app to my phone. Sometimes I'm visiting an airport for the first time. I just want to get going. So we're going to be bringing this GoodMaps Web to our venues, which would basically allow someone to scan a QR code at the space or go to a link, have it embedded in a website, and without downloading an app, just through your built-in web browser on your phone, be able to see the map and kind of have a more lightweight experience. So this will let people really kind of get into the GoodMaps ecosystem, try it out, get to places a little bit more quickly without having to download the full app. But then at the top of the GoodMaps web, you'll have a link to be able to go to the full app. So if someone needs the full turn-by-turn experience, or if they just want to experience the full GoodMaps, there will be that kind of front and center for people to be able to see. So we're really excited about GoodMaps Web. And this is kind of like the first step of many to integrating GoodMaps into our customers' ecosystem. So coming in 2025, we're going to be building more robust SDKs. So we're actually going to be providing a full plugin experience. So our customers, if they want to maintain their branding end to end, they could actually plug GoodMaps into their apps and have the GoodMaps turn-by-turn navigation all within their experience. So it's really going to let you have, manage the entire thing. Customers would see your brand as soon as they download your app. They'd be able to have that GoodMaps experience, and all of the map would be white labeled and match, again, your look and feel. So we're also really, really excited about that. And again, that's coming in 2025. This is kind of very much so in the early stages, but we've heard from a lot of customers that this is something that they want. And again, you don't always want to have to download another app. So if you've already got an app for your building, if users already have an app for your building, then they'll be able to just kind of see this in there. So That's all of the exciting stuff coming to the GoodMaps ecosystem. A lot of more improvements to the app, to Studio. We're introducing GoodMaps Web as a new product, and then in 2025, starting to offer more of these integrations and plugins so that customers can build their own experiences. And with all of that, I'm going to hand it off to Neil to talk about one of the partnerships that we've been working with over the last couple of years that we're really excited about.
Thank you, Charlie. Absolutely. So, as many of the keen observers via LinkedIn and so forth will have noticed, we are incredibly proud of our partnership with Intel and the work that we've managed to achieve by not only leveraging their technologies, but also their entire ethos and approach to working with us as a partner organization, and being able to take advantage of things such as some of their background, open technologies such as OpenVINO and so forth that we've discussed both on social and so forth, and being able to work with people so we're not reinventing the wheel allows us to be more efficient, both in terms of time, both in terms of our capacities to deliver the features and the functionality you want. So it's one particular partner that we really want to showcase and talk to. If anyone wants to learn a little bit more about some of the things as to why we are truly so excited about that work and some of the work that we've done with Intel specifically on deployments, there's a link that'll be shared as part of this to an NBC article which can articulate some of that work far more better than I can in this space. But we're super excited about the partnership in terms of the wide scale application and how it's revolutionizing how we deliver our technology and our solutions today. Many people often ask my team and I, we're noticing that the pricing's coming down, that things are getting better, that the scale's improving, that your delivery time's improving. And so many of those things can be accredited to our partnerships with organizations such as Intel. So we wanted to shed a light there. We wanted to really celebrate that and remark upon it. And then finally, I wanted to just turn to really celebrate where we've come in such a short space of time. You've obviously heard about our evolution to really recognizing and supporting universal access and in delivering access for all. So staying true to our heritage, but in 5 tiny years, and noting that, we didn't arrive on day one and say, hey, okay, we've got an app and off we go. We had to build something from day one, from scratch. We had to start, we had to establish ourselves, we had to explain this. And when you look at the list of partner organizations, when you look at our customers, and this is just a snapshot, I'm going to never do it justice by announcing some of these here. But when I think about our partnerships with organizations such as Sound Transit out in Seattle, and I think about the evolution of that relationship, when I think to the work we're doing with Via Rail in Canada, when I think to the amazingly strong partnership we have with Network Rail in the UK, and our fledgling relationships with organizations such as Arriva in both Spain and Irish Rail in Ireland, and even partnerships that we've just struck, such as we're bringing our technology to Australia with the Victoria Line folks. I am so proud of where we've come and the communities to which we serve and the lives that we're transforming. The number one thing that I will just lament at the very end when I hand it back to Teresa is that today some 2.5 million people daily have access to a GoodMaps venue. And to think back 5 years ago, this didn't even exist. It wasn't even a possibility. And today I can sit here and say 2.5 million people daily have access to a venue that has a GoodMaps functionality is just astounding. And it's a testimony to our customers and their faith. It's a testimony to our partners. It's a testimony to the investment that's come through. And it's a testimony to every single person that works in the company and who believes in the mission. So a thank you from us to each and every one of you. Teresa, closing remarks, please.
Absolutely. Thank you, Neil. Well, and I need to say a huge thank you to you as one of the key leaders at GoodMaps and somebody for whom this is a very personal mission. but one that we all are celebrating and getting behind. And as Neil said, we have some great scale already. We're in 10 countries and growing. So if GoodMaps isn't in your backyard yet, help us get there. That is what we're trying to do. We're trying to honestly make this as common and as widely used in the indoor world as it is in the outdoor world, because we know that it's a necessity and a need for so many of us. We want to have that joy and that confidence, that independence be available to anyone and everyone, no matter where they're entering, whether it's an airport, a train station, a grocery store, a large sporting event, a shopping mall, a hospital. We want to make sure that this technology is available again for anyone and everyone. So if you have the ability to influence someone, and we all do, by saying, hey, have you heard about this? There's this cool company called GoodMaps, and they're bringing inclusive indoor navigation to the world. Let people know about us. Help us get into more spaces so that we can have the world that we all envision be available to us and to others. I don't see any questions in the chat. I know that Peter had offered that. If anybody had any questions, we are happy to take them. I know we flagged this as a potential hour, but that was just because we wanted to make sure there was enough space for folks to be able to ask questions of us if they had it. But if you don't, that is okay. You can always email us at any point, info@goodmaps.com, or go to our website, www.goodmaps.com, and engage with us on there. We have some fantastic media and videos that you can watch as well about some of the venues and spaces that we're in. Peter just added it into the chat if you want to click on that link to our website. But again, we're grateful for those of you to join us during this conversation this morning. Look for future invitations. We want to keep the lines of communication going. We want to make sure you're all aware of the great things that we have in store for you today and what's on our roadmap going forward. So we look forward to seeing you out there and engaging with you in the future. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.